all kinds of crazy stuff. Hold on. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. It is raining. Finally, it's raining. I wondered what it was going to do all day. My neighbors are out there, so I don't want to, show them. That wouldn't be very nice. But it's raining. We need the rain. That's ginger right there in that pot. And then I've got some strawberries on the bottom step, but I don't think you can see. I made chili. This weather today reminded me so much of fall, and I'm so glad I was able to get my back grass all cut. As soon as I get back to working, I promise I'm going to work on this porch. I think I got an idea. I think I can do it. I'm going to show you the chili that I made. There's the girls. There's Shug. There's Francis. There's Lola. There's Hank. All right. And I poured myself a margarita. I broke my watch today. I was so angry. I was at the grocery store and it completely fell off my wrist. So take that back to over to the pawn shop. Everything's clean. Dishes are done. I made chili. It's kind of like simmering right now. I threw some banana peppers, a jalapeno in there. Anyway, I ran over to the grocery store today, Aldi, spent $125. It was all right. I had it. Needed to eat. You know, you got to have food. I'm turning this like way, way down. It's got to just simmer. I made, though, because I forgot to buy crackers, so I made homemade croutons. They're delicious. Oh my God, they are so delicious. And then let me put the lid back on. It's got to like simmer. And then I have been working on, I know you don't like when I talk about my art stuff and craft stuff, but I've been working on this. Let me show you. It's a Cruella de Vil theme. Coasters. Got some cat ones. Where is, I've got some heat for heating pads. Now don't ask me where I'm going with any of it. What craft show, vendor show. I do have a meeting tomorrow. So I got a Christmas one in there. This is Plan DEF. Got that. I had the kid bring in this chair. I love this antique desk. I originally saw this desk at the Shaw House over in the Botanical Garden. When I was with my person, I say to him, I found it on Marketplace. I go, you know that desk we saw? I go, I found one. I got to have it. I need it. And that was the problem right there when I said I need. So anyway, my regular chair that I use that goes with the whole theme of antique and what have you, it's something is not in proportion. So I say to the kid, bring me in your other computer chair. It didn't help either because what I'm finding is my vertebrae at the end of my neck, C4, C5, my gosh, I'm in so much pain. Okay. Hi, Francis. Hi, Bean. Francis Bean. She cute, little Staffy. She was a mess when I got her. I think she's going to be 3 next month. Look at that face. Oh, look at that little face. She's a barker. If anybody knew my gunny. More tomatoes, more eggplants. All right, let's do this. And then we're going to go sit at the computer. But I want to talk to you about some stuff. I love it when my kitchen's clean. And y'all love when I walk through my house. And I'm going to work on, the kid and I were talking about The kid, my youngest, who still lives at home, he's like, Mom, what if we just get that plank put together for your floor? I'm like, I don't know. I want black and white tile. It's really what I want. Okay, let's go back through here. Go back through here. Look at my little lights. You know, I'm telling you, one of these days I'm going to have one of these really big houses where I'm going to give you a complete tour. And don't look at me. I've been doing stuff all day. It's crazy. Isn't that cute at Christmas time? All right, let's. These dogs. Let's go get you situated over here by the computer. That's their setup. And they love when I'm working at my computer. Okay, let me get this thing fired up. And then I'm going to turn you around. Like I said, I've got another meeting tomorrow. Fingers crossed. That's one of my paintings. That's a class I taught. All right, let's turn some lights on. My one computer. The other computer I'm going to get set up to be in the other room because I need to do some stuff on my Cricut. Okay. Hang on. Going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. Go away. Oh, that's a bright light. Okay, I'm going to turn you around. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I just think it's so amazing that you can do this. You can turn it around. And if you saw my short form content this morning, my painting with the butterfly, I was having a conversation with somebody about how to bring my photos, my paintings to life. Because again, y'all don't like when I talk about business stuff, when I talk about business coaching and my little KM Designs merchandise. None of you like any of that. You all want to be informed and inspired. I'm going to talk with my hands, and I need my nails to be done really, really bad. And where I'm going tomorrow, I'm going to try to hide my hands because your hands say a lot. Your fingernails say a lot about who you are. Look at your nails. That one broke. That one broke. That one's growing out. Look at your hands because your hands say so much about who you are and the kind of work that you do. And I really wish I had a photo of my grandma's hands. My grandma had rheumatoid arthritis in her hands from all the years that she sewed. And, that one knuckle that I have reminds me of her. I'm not a fan of my hands, but let me tell you, these are working hands. Working hands. All right, let me see if I can get my computer up. I'm going to kind of go over some stuff. You're going to hear the dogs. They're going to start barking. It's raining, so they can't go outside. Hello, everybody. How are you? How's your evening? I got chili cooking on the stove. My ribs that I made last night, you needed to be here. That's all I can say. I ended up not doing the jalapeno peach glaze on it like I originally thought. I ended up doing a chipotle blackberry barbecue sauce. You don't know how good is. It was so tender. It was falling off the bone. And that was exactly what my intent was. And I didn't have the wherewithal, the broadband to take you along with the whole process. If you look at my short form content, you'll see the beginning and you'll see when it was on the grill. But it was phenomenal. The girl knows what she's doing. Okay, so. Oh, and I see I have one more new subscribe on my channel. Thank you. My meeting tomorrow, it is what it is. There are no guarantees. The girl that I used to work with, she texted me tonight. She's working at a Mexican place in O'Fallon. I'm not driving to O'Fallon. I'm not driving too far. I'll tell you that. All right, I'm going to look something up here because I want to talk to you about some stuff. Let's see if I can do this. I got chili cooking. As you saw, that's what's for dinner tonight. Got those homemade croutons. Went to the grocery store, spent $126. I have probably 6 eggplants that need to be pulled off the vine tomorrow. I will do that. Need to print up some designs on the Cricut and get that all out to go with whatever it is in there I'm doing. Okay. All right. Got it. Got it. Thanks for bearing with me here. I'm Kitryn Marie, Kit, K-I-T. I reside in St. Louis, Missouri. Have had my hand in food and beverage for 32 years. Long time. 1994. You do the math. I have held every role in every food and beverage job other than I've not cooked and I've not been a prep person. It's not my thing. I enjoy cooking. I don't want to ruin it by not wanting to cook at home. And if you are one of those people that are in my world, you're pretty darn lucky if I choose to feed you. If I ask you, how was your day? Did you eat today? Be thankful. Be thankful I asked you that. That's my term of endearment that says how much I care for you. Okay, these are things with this new short form content. I don't know why I struggle with saying that. That I'm trying to adapt to because, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribes. YouTube has let me know once I get to 1,000 subscribes, lo and behold, they're going to pay me. I don't like the way TikTok has put out their monetizing form. Doesn't seem fair. And you can Google my name, Kitryn Marie. I'm going to show up all over the internet. I think I'm up to now 5 pages on Google. Could be just because of my name. Could be because of all the things that I do and how I put myself out there. But short form content. Make it be to the point. Allow people to see really what's going on behind the scenes. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. And there is nothing to feel bad about in the way that you live. Not at all. We're all not millionaires. We're all not people who were born with spoons, silver spoons in our mouth. And I laid in bed last night, and I don't like to play the victim, and I don't like woe is me. But if y'all really knew everything that has transpired, if y'all knew what has transpired over the last 25 years, you'd really kind of want to know why in the hell I'm still standing. And I see somebody just said hi. Hello. Who are you? And to the person that sent me the message asking for me to be a pen pal, I greatly, greatly appreciate that, but I'm not in a position to do that. If you want to book a service with me, painting, learning how to, put a vision board together, life coaching, you have a business idea, you have to pay for my time. And that doesn't make me a bad individual. That just makes me a good business person. So this morning, my little painting where the girl is flying to the moon. She has her butterfly wing and then a bunch of florals. And then I did use AI because I wanted it to come to life. And my words were, take a chance. Take a chance. What is the one thing? What is the one thing that you are not willing to take a chance on? What is it? What is the one thing right now that you're racing against time? What is it? Where's your clock ticking? What do you, if you look at a clock, and we're all partial to different things about clocks. If you ask any young person to tell time, They're not going to be able to read a watch. They're not going to be able to read the face of a clock, 5, 10, 15, 20. They're not going to be able to look at a clock, and they're not going to be able to say, oh, it's 8:15. They will want digital. They will want it to read out to you. I'm very partial to clocks. I love clocks. There is, I got a story with everything. There is a place in Green Springs, Wisconsin, House on the Rock. It's the most bizarre, unique, beautiful place I have ever experienced. I've been there twice. I've been there with my sister, the youngest, and then I went back with, I think, my sister and my person. One whole section is nothing but clocks. Clocks, different kind of clocks. Cuckoo clocks, German clocks. There's a tower, I believe, somewhere in Belgium where there's this big clock. Big Ben is in London. Big face of a clock. There's something about a clock. I always seem to think, what are you barking at? Hold on. Hold that thought about clocks. What are you barking at? Get over here. I'm going to get off. Hang on. Come on, Nellie. Get over here. Come on. Go. Come on. Go. And go in the crate. I got to put her in the crate. Go. Get in there. Just be quiet. No, there's nothing out there for you, Lola. Okay. Oh, Lola just wanted her toy. That's why she's barking. Okay, clocks. Back to clocks. Clock, clock. Tick, tick, tick. Time getting away from you. What is it? Time is wasting. Time is happening. Time is short. You're running out of time. You're running out of time. Are you running out of time? Do you have plenty of time left with what you're trying to achieve? Excuse me. I have this thing. I have my own spiritual beliefs about how the higher power works. I always pay attention to what I say and how I say it and what I put out there, because I know the universe, my higher power, only responds to how I say things. I'm going to use this as an example. And these kind of things really give me the heebie-jeebies. All of the women in my family, other than my grandma who lived to be 84, 85, they've died very, very young. My mom was 31. My Aunt Sarah was 50. My Aunt Phyllis was 62. So it was my mom, Carmen, Sarah, and then Phyllis, the three girls. They all died relatively very young. Their one cousin, Rena, who we were really close to, she was related on both sides. Brother, sister, married, brother, sister. So, clocks, time, your life, your age. I always say my pact with God is I want to live to be 116. I want to live to be 116. I'm already driving my kids absolutely crazy with the type of life that I live. I drive not everybody around me crazy, but sometimes I'm really hard to understand because I think so far in advance and see everything from a very broad perspective. I do not have tunnel vision. I love clocks. Clocks say so much. There's an art in clocks. There's the intricate gears, what it takes for minutes, for hours to build up for the day. In my spiritual belief, we all have a personal clock. Now, your clock can look any way that you want. Probably mine's a cuckoo clock and has some big bird that comes out and on the hour, does some crazy bird noise. But I always think within the higher power, that clock sits up there. And each second, each minute, each time that hand moves to get to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 45, to the next hour. Within that time, you have been given an opportunity to do something. You have been given an opportunity to take advantage of the time that you have in order to accomplish something, in order to achieve something, in order for you to reach a goal on something. As those seconds and minutes and that hand goes by within the hour, how much of that are you wasting? Because that clock that we each have, the higher power has, and that higher power is also very well aware of those seconds and minutes and those hours that turn into weeks, days, weeks, and months and years that you have wasted. So, as you get to the end of your life, again, this is my theory, this is how I see it in my head. You don't have to agree with it, you don't have to like it. But when you are getting down to the end of your life, that clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. Back to, I'm always very mindful of what I say. I always say I want to live to be 116. Life can change in an absolute instant. Fate turns on a dime. You will hear me say that all the time. That is a story with my dad fishing in a boat. But my Aunt Sarah, she passed away at the age of 50. 2 weeks prior to her passing, she was viable. She was full of life. She was one of those, she was just an interesting person on a very left-handed scale. And she had made the comment, look, nothing has happened to me and I am fine. And within 2 weeks' time, she was not fine. And within another 4 days, she was gone. That is life. It is unpredictable. This morning, when I got up, I'm anticipating this meeting tomorrow. I'm watching seconds and minutes and hours. I'm watching these days go by. I'm watching the last 25 years of my life that has happened and how it has formed me to be the individual that I am today. As I'm looking forward to this meeting interview tomorrow, is it what I want to do? No, it is not. But unless you take the chance, you go out on that ledge and you look to see what that opportunity might present to you, you have to understand you're taking advantage of the minutes and the hour to better your life. So, with all that said, as you are looking at your clock, your time, it is 6:04 p.m. here in St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know what time it is there. For every minute, my back's all iffy today from working in the yard. For every minute that you applied yourself today, were you able to achieve a goal? Were you able to see progress and success within your action and your movement? And where within the day, within the time, did you lollygag? You let time go by. You watched time burn on a clock. You wasted time to make time pass faster. Let me know. I want to know. When you were looking at time, when you were thinking about your own personal clock, what is it within your own time frame, and what are you letting pass you by because daylight is burning, because the time is going by and you are not acting on it, you are not participating in your life the way that you need to? I was thinking about that today. The other thing with these photos and this short form content, I don't know why I have such a hard time saying that, but I do. Let me find something. Hang on. Bear with me. Go get something to drink and come right back and talk to me. Where's that? We talk about procrastination in that time. What is it about What is it about acting upon the thought, if it is for the good, for the higher power, for your higher purpose? What is it that is keeping you from starting something? What is it about starting something new that you are afraid of? And are you second guessing what your ability is? And you are already projecting your shortcomings? Are you? If you procrastinate, what is it that keeps you from starting? Because how do you know once you start that there's not going to be momentum, that there's not going to be inertia, the force of movement that just happens because something got rolling? There was a ball that you put into motion. Hold on. I'm going to try to find this because I know it's in here. There were other things too that I wanted to having a blank canvas, that was it. What will it take in your life if you start out with nothing and everything is blank? You know where you've been, you know what you've done. You pretty much by now know what has not worked for you. So, what can you do with this blank picture, photo, canvas, beginning of something new? What do you want on that blank canvas, and how can you start on something colorful, something joyful, something that brings you long term happiness? And what is it about the fear that is keeping you from creating something beautiful on that canvas? There's a song, The Painter, by Cody Johnson. He talks about the woman that's in his life because she encourages him to do things because she sees so much more than what he has imagined in his life. She already sees the color and the vibrance to what his life is going to look like because she's not afraid to take the chance. She's not afraid to take those colors and put it on the canvas. It's like your higher power. Your whole life is one big canvas, and your higher power is painted in all the moments in your life. So, how have you reacted to all of those moments in your life, and what has it created? You know, once you get past that point of fear, the first stroke is always the hardest. But once you do it, you can't pretend that it wasn't started. You can't pretend that it didn't begin. You know, even when you're cooking, what are you making for dinner tonight? You saw I'm making chili. You know, you're so focused on achieving that happiness and trying to find that homeostasis part in your life. But have you forgotten things that are needed to add that spice to whatever it is that you were creating for yourself? Substance, something that your body and your mind and your emotions need. What is it? And are you allowing yourself to be deprived because you do not want to add a spice to your life to change it up, to get more flavor? Today, when I woke up, I knew I had a couple things to do. I needed to run to the bank, I needed to go to the grocery store. I had this much money that I could stretch. I knew what I was going to do. Still waiting on 2 checks to come that are just slow as molasses to land in my bank account. You know, I have a whole bunch of things and a whole bunch of nothing things, and I'm waiting for this time to be efficiently used. I'm waiting for this time to be able to lay out the plan that I need for the next part in my life. But today I was very anxious. I mean, almost to the point where when I was at the grocery store, I wasn't having a panic attack, but I was starting to get just really, really nervous, like watching my surroundings. And I kept getting this feeling like something about time being wasted, time not being taken advantage of, time going by, and something not manifesting in the way that I have been applying myself. On my phone, all my notifications are turned off unless I am actually checking my messages or checking an app. Nothing comes across my phone. I have no ringtone, no bells, no whistles, no nothing. That is something too with time, and when you have been in a certain situation, when you have such a heightened awareness of certain things, certain sounds will trigger something. So today, as I'm at the grocery store and I'm listening to everybody's phone going off, it was absolutely maddening. And I couldn't wait to get out of there so I could come back home to be in the quiet. And there's nothing going on. There's nothing that I have to be nervous about. There's nothing to be anxious about. I'm doing what I need to do within the time frame that I have, taking very much advantage of this time because I know there is progress, there is growth, there is a goal intended. But I want you to look at your own clock. Look at the clock for your life. Of all the years, the seconds, the minutes, the hours that you have wasted and procrastinated because of fear, what's left on your time clock? I want to know. But I'm Kitryn Marie, an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach, teach a variety of art and communication classes, published author when he had her available on Amazon. Would love to hear from you. Reach out, kitrynmarie@gmail.com. Leave a comment below. Let me know what's going on in your world. Fate turns on a dime. It's up to you to decide what side of the coin you want to be on. Take care, and I'll see you real soon.